This week we continue our tour of Fim Country and head to Ilion. We've been to Ilion several times in the past. It is located on the south bank of the Mohawk River in the town of German Flats. You can learn more about the history of German Flats, including Ilion and Mohawk, in the new book by Susan Perkins and Carol Hobson. The first electric lights in Ilion were installed in 1884, with electricity manufactured by the Remington Electric System in the Armory. The current municipal utility first produced electrical service in 1900.
We have our main transformers out here located in the substation, and the voltage comes in at 4,160 volts, feeds into this panel of circuit breakers. Now each circuit breaker goes to a different part of the village. Okay, some will go up to the high school, some goes way up, way up on, there's a Bell Hill rural area that we feed, and then we have 8 circuits down at located at this substation. We have another 6 circuits down at the West Clark Street substation, which feeds the lower end of town, the downtown area, over toward the Remington School area and down in that area. So it's just like your house circuit breakers, where one feeds a bedroom, this is feeding a certain part of town, different streets, and then it's sectionalized throughout the village. We're starting to get in the LED lighting, and we did relight one street, the Behringer Road, and it's a costly changeover, so we could do it a little bit at a time, because we're not real. We make money, but not enough that we can just do the whole village. It'd be impossible. So we try to hopefully rely on some grants or something like that we'll find out, through the state or our federal government, because everybody's trying to grow green now. So we're just trying to find the money, but we're doing a little bit at a time just to keep up with it.
For the long-term benefits.
Right, for the long-term benefit. It'll take a while to pay back, but it'll, in the long term, for our little kids growing up, someday it'll be good for them.
For all the sons of immigrants, sons of the native land, there are sons yet to be born to carry on the work we've just begun. Well, good times may come and good times go, but one thing stays the same. It's the feeling I get when I look around. It lets me know I'm home.
The beautiful Remington room here was renovated by the Friends of the Free Library in Ilion, and I found out something new from them. It's always great being a host of this show where I learn all these new things every week. I had always thought that a free library was called that because it was free to take out the books. That's not the case. The word free was added to library for the simple reason that it is open to everybody.
It's been a few years since our last visit to Remington Arms, when we learned about the company's long tradition of gun manufacturing. But what we learned this time from Remington history buff Mark Eddy is that Remington was involved in many other ventures. Most notable was their typewriter business that once employed 10,000 people. They also made sewing machines, steam cars, canal barges, farm implements, and even bicycles.
Well, as a Harley owner, I found that there was a link between the Remington bicycle and the 3 founders of Harley-Davidson motorcycles in Milwaukee. I found out that through speaking with their curator of their museum, that William Harley, who was an avid long-distance bicycle rider, actually had a men's Remington bicycle. That was his pedal bike of choice. And there is some rumor and a little bit of documentation that quite possibly the first Harley-Davidson prototype motorcycle, the motor was placed on that Remington frame.
It's driving me insane. I grab my umbrella and try to brave the rain. I grab my umbrella and try to brave the rain.
There are some new entrepreneurs in Ilion. The 2nd Street Candy Shop, run by mother and son team Vicki and Nathan, has branched into a new market. Now when you pick up something for your sweet tooth, you can also get a treat for your 4-footed friend.
We started with our homemade recipes that we've been doing for 35 years, and all of our homemade truffles went over really well. But we wanted something else in the store, so we decided we'd make some treats for the dogs too. And lo and behold, that they'd buy chocolate for themselves and treats for their dogs, and they went over really well. Our dog biscuits are special because they're allergy-free, and these days it seems a lot of your dogs are having problems with wheat, and these are made with good organic oat flour and carob and yogurt, and so the dogs don't have a reaction to them, and they love them because they're a soft-baked cookie. And the dogs just gobble them up, and the people have been coming back for more and more. People are really pampering their pets now, and they're happy to find something that's local and organic and their dogs love.
A favorite place with the locals for lunch is Maine Moon Buffet. For 20 years, the Lean family has catered to their customers, evolving from a takeout only to a takeout and dine-in restaurant, including their popular buffet.
I have just enjoyed a meal here at the Maine Moon. The restaurant has been owned for quite a few years by the Lean family, and they are truly pillars of the community here in Ilion. It is tradition, of course, to have a fortune cookie, a good fortune, I hope it's good, a fortune cookie at the end of your meal. So I'm going to try one now and see what it has to say. Oh, it says, "You have had and will have many, many, many happy voyages through the Mohawk Valley." Imagine that. Gee.
Another place that's hopping is the newly opened Froggies. If you're looking for some summertime favorites, they're here, including Richard's fairground favorite, funnel cakes. The Ilion Marina is open for the season. There are already quite a few RVers enjoying the canal, the facilities, and the dockside cafe. The Marina is a popular stop for travelers passing by on their way through the Mohawk Valley. We head back up into the hills to farm country, where we visit Valley View Farm. Almost 30 years ago, Glenn and Linda Gastrom decided to leave the rat race of the big city and bring their family to the Mohawk Valley. They raised their kids on the farm where they learned work ethics. Now the milk they produce here is sent to Boston and New York City.
There's a barn that once held horses that in winter pulled a sleigh. It stands among the maples that were planted once with pride. It looks out on the rolling hills, stretch out far and wide. The walls are strong and sturdy.
We head from a working dairy farm to a hobby farm, where Richard and Susan Randazzo have made their love of animals a second career. Randy's Ridge has become home to a menagerie of animals.
Randy's Ridge is a hobby farm, which means it's done as a hobby, not as a business, which also means that it's based really on love of animals. You can come out here today, for example, and for $1 you can take a ride on a horse. What a great way to spend an afternoon with your children or your grandchildren.
Well, we moved here in '96 thinking we were going to at least have horses and chickens, because he's a baker and he wanted eggs, and we both love horses. And then within a year, our phones started ringing for people who didn't want their pets anymore, or their livestock, or their birds. And a teacher gave us a batch of chicks, and we had to start building things right from the start to house these animals. And it took us quite a few years before we realized we had the kind of place that children would enjoy, and that we should kind of let the public know what we have. Too good to keep to ourselves, you know. It's where we live, these are our pets, and we just like to keep it a slow, relaxing pace. We just started turning away animals because we want to stay within a reasonable limit, and we want to be able to give everybody the right treatment, the best of health, and our time. They're our pets. Well, we enjoy having an animal and a bird family. For one thing, it's part of our relationship. We just love nature and outdoors. Both of us have had town living for years, and this is heaven to us. It really is.
Randy's Ridge is open daily 10 a.m. to sunset and is closed on Wednesdays. It's great if you call ahead at 894-0250.